check out this mess. It's looking a lot more empty than when you last saw it on the channel. Interesting. Rust tucked behind the headlining. Wes has just passed through.
I'm not happy.
Yellow fog lights, just to annoy the purists. Really like the look of this front end now. Top job, Rob, as usual.
Hello and welcome to this video.
Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes, and over the last couple of days I've been round to my garage before work and on my breaks to spend some time on Maude, my moredoor Mk2 Escort, and the new project, my beige moredoor Mk2 Escort, and I'm going to bring you all up to speed with all of that in this video. But first, check out this mess. Me and my beautiful girlfriend Kat are busy packing merch orders this evening because all the pre-order stuff came in from the supplier, and I thought I'd give you a bit of an insight into our operation. So once we've gone through everything and checked for defects, everything gets tagged with these really cool hang tags. Also, another thing I didn't show you when I released these bits is that they've all got proper printed neck labels, and then after that everything goes into these clear bags, and then it all goes into these proper boxes, which should help everything survive the post. I don't want to show anyone's address, but everyone gets a handwritten note from me. And yeah, me and Kat really do put a lot of effort into the merchandise side of things. So I want to send a massive thanks out to everyone who did jump on the pre-order. I've had loads of messages asking if I've ordered any extras. I have ordered very few extras, only in the more common bits and the more common sizes, and they won't be available until January, but I will announce it in a video before I release those bits. Anyway, me and Kat have got a lot to get through, so we better crack on, and I'll chat to you all again next time around the garage. So, the other day, I fitted this SPARCO Corsa into the driver's side of Maude. If you've been watching my videos, you'll know that my friend Gary gave me this SPARCO Corsa and a SPARCO Sprint to fit to Maude. So yeah, massive shout out and a thanks again to you, Gary. Now this SPARCO Corsa only has the mounting holes on the side, which means you need to use these side brackets, and Gary actually gave me the brackets for this seat. Now I did actually film me fitting this seat to Maude, but the method I used was a bit long-winded, so I've ordered the same style bracket so that I can fit the SPARCO Sprint to the passenger side. Even though the Sprint does have the mounting holes on the underneath, I want to mount that one the same as I've mounted this one. So when those brackets arrive, I'll film that and show you hopefully a better method of doing it than what I did to fit this seat. But yeah, I've mounted the side mount brackets to the original runners, so we've got adjustment front and back. And the good thing about these, because you've got the multiple holes, you can actually adjust the tilt. So yeah, this seat is already way more comfortable than the Cobra Monacos, but even more so now that I'm actually able to tilt it back. So yeah, really happy with that. Onto my new project, which is looking a lot more empty than when you last saw it on the channel. I've removed all the interior, and I've taken all the parts that were in the boot that came with the car, and I've actually sorted through all the parts that came with the car, and I'll show you exactly what I've got in a minute. Back into the interior though, as I say, I've moved all the seats and stuff out the way. I've got the pedal box out, the heater box out. I've removed all the wiring from the whole car. And yeah, you can really see how solid this thing is. A few little scabs of surface rust here and there, but nothing major. Still got remnants of this furry stuff that I need to remove. But yeah, really happy with this shell. You'll see that headlining is also removed. It had a couple of rips in it, but you can get those brand new. And I actually found something quite interesting tucked behind the headlining. So I'll put a clip in now to show you what I found. All right, so what I have here is part of a newspaper that I found tucked behind the headlining of the new project. And I have heard stories in the past where people would be skiving on the production line in the Ford factory, and then when the manager walks past to check up on what everyone's doing, the workers would quickly stuff the newspaper that they're reading behind pieces of trim. Now this is the front cover and the back cover of the newspaper. It looks like it's the Biggleswade and Sandy Herald, I'm guessing, and it's dated July the 21st. You can just make out that it says 1989. Now that car is a late Mk2 Escort, but it was built in 1980 and first registered in 1981. However, it is an import, so I don't know if, you know, during the process of importing the car and registering it in the UK, whether, you know, some of those details could be slightly inaccurate. But I'm pretty sure that the car wouldn't have been built in 1989. Even if it was registered later, you know, the headlining would have been fitted in the factory in 1980. But yeah, that definitely says 1989. Now, it's obviously possible that someone could have tucked it behind the headlining in 1989, but the headlining isn't exactly something that's easy to tuck something behind. As far as I know, you know, around the edges and that, it's all glued around the door shuts and the window apertures. Although this was found around the B-pillar. So, yeah, maybe someone did, you know, sort of stuff it up the side there. But, yeah, I think it's just quite strange that someone would have tucked a newspaper up behind the headlining, apart from, as I say, you know, the stories I've heard where workers on the production line stuffed their full newspapers behind bits of trim to stop them getting caught skiving. So yeah, it's definitely really interesting, and I do intend to tuck this back behind the headlining when I put the new headlining in the car. But yeah, who knows? Maybe one of you guys out there was the one that stuffed this bit of newspaper behind the headlining of my new project. Do get in touch if it was you. But yeah, other than that, let me know in the comments what you think of this, and let me know of any interesting things that you guys have found tucked behind bits of trim in your projects. Now, one thing this car didn't come with is a carpet, and I'm actually wondering whether this car should have a black carpet or a brown carpet. Now, this car is Cordoba beige, otherwise known as hearing aid beige, and it's got a brown interior, and I intend to repaint the car Cordoba beige. So yeah, let me know in the comments if it should have a black carpet or a brown carpet, because I'm pretty sure that both are available new. Now, I am actually thinking that I might paint inside this cabin myself, seeing as I am going to be fitting the full interior and, you know, it's all going to be covered up. I'm thinking about doing it myself with spray cans, and that means that I'll be able to do it before it goes for welding at CLUMPFAB, so I'll be, you know, a step ahead of the project, and it'll also save my good friend Rob a job, and he'll only have to focus on the engine bay in the boot and the door shuts, and then I'll be able to put the whole car back together. Before I do paint in here, I do need to grind away the surface rust and give it a good clean and a prime. But yeah, I'm hoping to crack on with that on my brakes and that next week. I'm probably not going to film all that boring stuff, but yeah, next time you see this car on the channel, I might actually be putting the beige paint on the interior. I did say before that the next thing I was going to crack on with this car was going to be, you know, bare metal in the engine bay and the front panel, and I might still do that before it goes to CLUMPFAB, but because of all the welding and stuff it's going to need, I don't think I should focus on that first. I think while I've got some spare garage space to store everything from inside the car, I should focus on painting the interior. My good friend Wes has just passed through in his Zetec Turbo Mk2 Fiesta that you would have seen on the channel, looking really Asbo at the moment with the front bumper removed. Our good friend Rob has actually just painted Wes's front bumper, so it'll be back to looking like a proper sleeper very soon.
I'm not happy with the way that looks.
Is that a homemade panel?
That's a homemade. I've made that to fit in there, lovely, right?
Yeah.
Right, don't get me wrong, right? But I haven't painted it very well here, and obviously it looks patchy, and I put some sealant in there and like tiger sealed it in.
Yeah.
But it just didn't look nice.
Get one of the pillar mounts for it.
Maybe, yeah. The ECU will tell me if it's over boosting.
Yeah.
It'll do a boost cut and it will go, no, it won't have none of it. I just want to make sure that I know what boost I'm running. Only because back in the day when I used to have all my RS turbos and that, I always had a boost gauge.
Yeah. No, I definitely like the idea of a mechanical gauge, man.
I don't know.
This car's running the Max ECU. It's got a really cool screen on the dash here. Yeah. The ultimate sleeper. Just get another look at Wes's engine bay while he's got the bonnet up. Z-Tech turbo, running a Zoo Speed turbo manifold. This is a proper cool car. Anyway, while Wes is mucking about with his Fiesta, I'm going to show you all the parts that came with my new project. Now, I've got all these boxes of stuff here, which I'm going to be putting on my shelf in a minute. But yeah, literally came with a full interior. In here, you've got all the pillars for the doors and stuff. Protector for the rear tubs, all the brown door handles and all that sort of stuff. That's the centre console. Came with both wing mirrors, gear stick gaiter, C pillar trims. I think there is some B pillar trims in there somewhere as well. But yeah, it literally came with a full interior. This is the dash piece I took off yesterday. There's the heater box. In here I've got a load of engine parts, and seeing as this car will be going crossflow, these are all going to come in handy. Full gasket kit there, really cool. Couple of sets of leads, these ones are actually brand new. Washer bowl, got Dizzy caps and other sets of leads, a couple of alternators, got a K&N air filter, that's for a single choke Weber. I'm not sure if I'm going to get a single choke or a twin choke. Got the servo and stuff, servo tower. Yeah, loads of engine spares that are definitely going to come in handy. Actually a couple of what look like brand new radiator hoses. I think that one's used, but yeah, this one looks brand new. So yeah, a lot of that's going to come in handy. Here's the headliner. As I say, it is ripped, but wrapped up inside it I've got the foamy stuff that gets stuck to the roof before you put the headliner in. And yeah, I'll just keep this rolled up like this. It keeps all the rods in one place, and obviously keeps that foam stuff protected as well. In here I've got all the stuff that I pulled out of the interior, switch panel, the clocks, handbrake gaiter, heater pipes, that sort of thing. I've got both of the sun visors, rear view mirror, and in there is the full wiring loom for the car as well. Got the pedal box there, which I removed earlier on. These are just miscellaneous items. Gear stick. Got some brand new track rod ends and some brand new steering rack gaiters. Various electrical bits in there. Horn. This car did only come with one windscreen wiper though, but that's not a massive deal. I have got all the bits that attach the wipers to the wiper motor, so that's cool. And in here I've got all the lights. These pattern rear lights are actually ones I already had. But yeah, the new project came with a full set of lights, got both indicators, both square headlights. I may actually change to round. Both rear lights, but even came with some fog lights. So yeah, don't need to buy any lights for the new car. So yeah, the car is virtually complete, which I'm really happy about. Now I'm going to show you all the stuff that I've got stored in the garage that is now free for a while because Esther, my Mk2 Escort, is away having her damage repaired. Definitely really handy having this temporary extra garage space. Got the parcel shelf here, which looks like it will go again. They're normally all cracked. The rear seat, And all the seats in this car aren't ripped, which I'm really, really happy about. I've got this board here that goes sort of between the rear seat and the boot area. Wrapped up in here is the rear windscreen. I still need to get a front windscreen, but that's not a massive deal. Got bits of glass down there. 3 door glasses, but I've got 2 others on the spare doors that came with the car. And yeah, the quarter light windows there. But as you'll know, if you've been watching my videos, I'll be using the opening quarter lights that are on the spare doors for the front doors. Got all 4 door cards, which are in pretty good shape. Bit dusty, but they'll definitely go again. And yeah, there's the front seats, which are unripped. In this bag, I've got all the sort of underlay and sound deadening stuff that goes underneath the carpet, and the bit that goes on the inside of the bulkhead, behind the pedals and that. I'm not sure if I'm going to put all that stuff back in, but yeah, it's there if I decide to do so. Got these random yellow fog lights that came with the car. Not really sure what I'm going to do with them. Maybe chuck them on the front of Maude just to annoy the purists. We'll see. Still got Maude's door cards here. Need to get rid of these. They're not in great shape. I think the driver's one is really, really bad. Maybe throw them on eBay or something. And down here I've got some chrome trim that came with the new car. Definitely need to clean these up and see what kind of condition they're in, because yeah, they'll definitely be going on eBay. So yeah, really, really happy with how much stuff I got with this new project. It's going to mean that once the welding and painting's been done, I'll be able to put this car together quite quickly and for not a lot of expense, really. Right now, I need to get all this stuff on the shelves in there, and then we'll see if there's any daylight left to actually crack on with anything today. That is all the parts for the new project on my new shelf, and the shelf hasn't fallen down yet. Now that this boot's empty, we can get a better look at the rust that I showed you before. Got this bit around this grommet hole, and just about see a hole there, which is obviously the other side of that bit of rust I showed you on the inner arch. Is that prod? Definitely going to get bigger, but it's not that bad really. In general, the boot floor is pretty solid. Need to grind away at this and just see how bad the surface rust is under there. I'm probably just going to make this hole bigger and put a bigger grommet there. That'll probably mean that I'll have to do the same to this side so that they look relatively even. One thing I will show you is where they've deleted the holes for the trim. They've actually just used filler. Now I did know about this when I bought the car, and I was thinking about just leaving the filler in there, but I think it might be a better idea just to strip this bit back to bare metal and then get Chris to weld those holes up. Obviously you're gonna have to do the same thing on 3 out of the 4 doors, because this door here still has the holes in it. And huge thanks to everyone offering your advice about this other door. It is pretty hanging and probably could do with a reskin, but I'll have a think about it. Rob did say that this is repairable, so we'll see. I'm sure a bit of bashing with a hammer and a load of filler and it'll look straight again. But yeah, as I mentioned before, it does need some repairs here, here and here. I think what I'm going to focus on now until it gets dark is trying to go round and tickle these bare metal bits where they've broken through, where they were prepping. Got some bits on the doors as well, all around the edges. Any bits that do look like the pitting's a bit bad, I'll hit with some Cure Rust, and then, you know, we'll get some primer on those bits so that they won't continue to get more and more rusty. Some of these bits on the bonnet, especially that bit there, have started to go pretty orange. So yeah, I'm going to use an 80 grit, which is quite heavy, but yeah, I do want to fully get rid of the surface rust. I'm going to put it on a block, try and keep the block square with the shape of the panel so I don't completely ruin all the prep work that's already been done. Alright, so seem to have sanded right through all the scabs. I'm going to be revisiting these edge bits and bits like this Once it comes back from CLUMPFAB and before the engine bay gets painted, the bonnet will be removed to make painting the engine bay easier. And yeah, I'll basically bare metal all these underside bits, but all the bits on top are now nice and shiny. I'm going to give the whole bonnet now a tickle with 180 and then give it a degrease and then just touch all those bare metal bits up with epoxy primer.
Hello and welcome to this video.
Oh look, the painter's here now. Oh, he's busy. And there it is. All the bare metal is now covered with epoxy. Couldn't resist graffitiing it with my initials. I'm hopefully going to be coming round here next week before work and on my breaks, and I'm going to go round the rest of the car where they've broken through when they were prepping and do exactly the same. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm also going to make a start on grinding back some of this surface rust inside the cabin and keying up the whole area so that it's ready for paint. Wes's Fez is now wearing its new Zetec S front bumper. Really like the look of this front end now. Really cool. Happy, Wes?
Well happy, mate.
Top job, Rob, as usual. Tomorrow I'm actually planning to go to the Herbie's meet in my dad's Mark III, and I think Wes is going to be coming along in his Fiesta as well. But you'll be able to see that in the next video. But right now I need to put both of my Maude Mk2 Escorts away, and then I'm going to have to stop off on the way home to give my dad's Mark III a jet wash. Can't be jet washing the car on an empty stomach. Thank you. Thanks. I think I'll be a bit lazy and put it through the car wash. I haven't even paid for my car wash yet, and I've had 2 people so far giving me some positive comments about my dad's Mark III. This car wash is really weird. You put your wheels on a track and then it sort of drags you along. Let's see if this dryer's any good. How's that for a buff? You can definitely tell whatever wax they're using, there's too much wax in it. So it's like a thick film all over the car, but we'll see how good she looks in the morning. Definitely gonna look better than she did because she was filthy. Back at home and the postman's bin. In here will be the side mount bracket for Maude's passenger seat. So in the next week or so, I'll be able to bolt the SPARCO Sprint into the passenger side of Maude. Before that though, as I mentioned earlier in this video, I'm going to be focusing next week on getting the interior of the new project ready for paint, and I'll be going around the rest of the outside of the car, getting rid of all those bare metal bits, sanding them down, making sure that all the surface rust has gone and giving those a coat of epoxy primer. Before all that though, tomorrow morning we're going to be going to the breakfast meet at Herbie's Diner. So yeah, really looking forward to that, and you'll be able to see that in the next video. So for now, I'm going to end this video here. Hope you enjoyed the little update. If you did think it was any good, please do give it a thumbs up and a share. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Click subscribe to keep up to date with all my future uploads, and check the links in the description to my social media and my website. I'll also leave my email address down there for anyone who wants to contact me. Massive thanks, as always, to each and every one of you for your continued support of my channel. But other than that, until next time, thanks for watching.